I'm glad to be here again. So I hope you had a good weekend. Mine was very good. I was on a retreat in a beautiful location. So I'm relaxed and ready for the week to come. So let's see what we're doing today. So this is our last 3 days of the mindfulness month of May. So we have only another 3 days of the month to come. So I thought maybe I can summarize of what we did all these days and introduce the subject, the theme for these last 3 days, which is of course related to what we've done already. So in the first week, we talked about how to establish a practice. So we said even taking 5 minutes a day is super important, and actually doing short sessions of meditation throughout the day is even more effective. That's what the research says, the scientific research says about the mindfulness practices. They're more effective rather than having one long session in once a day, basically. So instead of meditating for half an hour in the morning or in the evening, we could do 5 minutes or 10 minutes throughout the day. So that's why we created these videos, for you to help you either do your practice in the morning, like live, or watch the videos later, so you can have at least 10-15 minutes of practice every day. Yeah. In the second week, we talked about the body. Why is that? Because the body is a very important part of the mindfulness practices. So mindfulness is not a brain exercise. We don't try to think in a different way. We don't try to find alternative ways of organizing our thoughts, but we rather work with our body in order to be able to be aware of what's happening in the body and help the mind come in balance and harmony with the body. So body is very, very important. And we actually said that the body sensations, going into the theme of the third week, is one of the main anchors, main ways to bring us back to here and now, to the current moment. So then we talked about other anchors, like the breath, which is very, very important, which is the most known meditation anchor, the breath that is always there and bringing us back to the current moment. And we talked about other anchors like noises, sounds, smells, or any kind of sensation any of our senses can bring in. We use it as an anchor. Yeah. So this is a way for us to help us come back to here and now. So we use all different kinds of ways to do that. And we have meditations to go with that. In the third week, last week, we went into a bit more challenging aspect of any meditation practice, which is working with thoughts and feelings. So we see how our thoughts are part of our existence, and see how the thoughts are coming in and coming out, and how with our practice we can just take a step back and watch. And this is what we're trying to do, rather than trying to stop thinking. And then the feelings is just a beautiful but also quite challenging part of the practice, because it's very hard to identify what kind of feelings we have or what they're trying to tell us. So what we do, we go back to the body. So what we do is we say, okay, where is this feeling is felt in the body? So which part of the body feels tensed? Which part of the body feels tired? But also which part of the body feels warm and pleasant and easygoing and just pleasant, basically. So we work with identifying with all the different sensations we have, and the body is helping us. It's just the main way we have to help us do that. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting and one of my favorite subjects in meditation, which is the kindness we need to have in the practice. So when we observe ourselves, because this is the main practice where we sharpen our awareness, we're observing thoughts, feelings, sensations. We don't do it in a robotic way. We don't do it as a cool kind of detached observator. Oh, well, another thought or another feeling. It's not that kind of attitude. The attitude we have is the kindness. It's a very kind attitude to ourselves mostly, and then we look at kindness to others. But when it comes to the meditation practice itself, we need, if we're not to be kind, because if we're not kind, we're not mindful. So the awareness we have is kind awareness. So that means when we have a feeling, or when we have a thought that we don't particularly like, or we don't think it is good for us, what we do is, instead of judging ourselves, we just kindly realize that is there, and then we just go back. There are feelings we don't like, or there are thoughts we don't like. So the idea is not to judge our experience. It's not there to say that this is good or this is bad, or you are a good person, you are not, you are a bad person. But what we're doing is we're actually realizing, okay, that's what's going on, and we bring ourselves back. Yeah. So lots of people use the metaphor of a puppy or a child. So the mind is a bit like a puppy. So it goes all over the place and wants to do this and that. But when we bring them back, when we bring the puppy back, then if we do it kindly, then he might come back. If we tell them off or we try to pull them back, they will definitely not like that. The same with the mind. We're kind with our attitude. We don't pull the mind back, but we bring it back gently. Yeah. So we start with this attitude, the kind attitude, but we also work with practices that help us cultivate kindness for ourselves, kindness for others, like people we like, or people we don't know very well, or people we don't like, which is very challenging to do that. So what we'll do today is we're going to work with this attitude of kindness when we meditate, and then we're going to develop a bit of kindness for ourselves, which we all deserve, and we need to do it more often. So this is what this practice is going to be about today. So as we always do, I'm going to ask you to take the position that is the most comfortable for you for your meditation practice. So either sitting or sitting on a chair, or sitting on the ground on a cushion, and you're just going to follow my instructions. And hopefully this will help us develop more and more reminders to develop kindness to our practice. And remember, the practice is not an exercise that we need to force ourselves. It's not like the way we sometimes need to break our limits with physical exercise. No, this is about being kind to ourselves and helping the body and the mind come together in a kind and compassionate kind of attitude. Yeah. So I'll ring my bell. We can lower our gaze, or we can close our eyes altogether. And we're going to take a deep breath. We start with the body. We work with the lungs and the chest and the heart first. So we put all our attention in that area. Just feel anything that's happening there. Maybe the beating of the heart. What's the temperature around our chest? We feel the chest is restricted or is open. Just put all our attention around the chest and the heart area. We take deep breaths, or normal breaths, and see if they're deep or not. Doesn't matter. Stay with the chest for a minute. We feel our hands, the left hand, the left elbow, the left upper arm, the left shoulder, the whole left hand. We do the same with the right hand, the right palm, the right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, and the whole right hand and arm. So we now feel this area again, the two hands, and as they connect with our chest, the heart and the lungs. So we keep all this area into our awareness. The hands are an extension of our heart. So we just keep them into our awareness as we work with the heart in this practice. You maybe even feel any sensations behind our chest, the back, the upper back. Sensations behind the heart. We keep all this area into our awareness, the hands, the chest, and the upper back. We just isolate this area and we just pay attention to the sensations there. And we stay with the breath. We watch our thoughts, feelings, the attitude we have. And we come back to the chest and the hands. If we feel like we're lost in thought, we just smile at ourselves, and we go back to the chest and the heart and the hands. Every time we realize we're lost, we just give ourselves a smile, just saying we're lost again. And we come back to the heart and the lungs and the hands. So let's try this for another couple of minutes. Every time we're lost, we come back to the heart. And the breath. If the mind is lost, just smile and come back. You can choose your anchor, but always come back to the sensations around the chest and the heart. We check with our attitude. We make sure our attitude is kind. We make sure we're not pulling the mind back. We're just gently bringing the mind back. During meditation and throughout the day. Now trying something different. We're seeing ourselves with closed eyes. We see ourselves throughout the day. we take a step back and we observe someone like us. Just see ourselves outside our own experience. Just see ourselves like we would see a friend. Just bring into your mind's eye yourself when you wake up. Maybe feeling tired or rested or not rested, and we just maybe feel compassion for ourselves whenever we feel tired or not ready to face the day. That happens lots of times. So we watch ourselves maybe at our workplace, where we have to face lots of challenges, deadlines, lots of people with maybe unkind attitudes. We just feel compassion and kindness for ourselves, like we would do for a friend. If a friend was telling us they have challenges at work, how would we feel about them? Let's just cultivate the same feeling for us. Just see ourselves working and doing our best. We also see ourselves at home with our family or people we live with. See what kind of challenges we might be facing there. And how we have to keep balances with relationships. We just see ourselves there. And we see ourselves with compassion and kindness for all the efforts we make to keep the balance, to keep our relationships going. Maybe see ourselves making mistakes. And we just also be kind about that. Just see what kind of feelings these reflections bring into our body. So what's the feelings around the heart and the lungs now? When we visualize ourselves and we're sending good thoughts and positive feelings and compassion to ourselves, how does that feel? Is there a smile in their face, maybe? How does it feel? Now let's see ourselves when we have fun, when we're out with friends and family and we do our favorite hobbies, when we laugh a lot, when we eat our favorite food. How does that feel? Maybe we just have a natural smile on our face just by thinking about the good times we have. Surrounded by people we like, and having fun. How does that feel? Maybe traveling or spending time in nature. What kind of sensations we have in the body just by reflecting on these good times. And just stay with that positive feeling about us, about the joy of living. Let's see how we feel about these good times. Even when a friend describes a good night out or a good holiday, let's see ourselves as being that friend. Someone who's enthusiastic about the good times and just smile at them, smile to ourselves. So now let's go back to the body. Leave the images behind. Stay with the sensations in the body. Sensations around the chest, the hands, beating of the heart. We stay by just feeling the sensations there, just for a minute in silence. So as we bring this practice to an end, let's just reflect on two things. The first is just our well-wishing. Let's wish ourselves to be happy and at ease and have a nice day. And also reflect on other people's happiness. Just wish everyone we love to be happy. People we like. People we don't know very well. Or maybe people that are challenging and difficult. Let's just finish this meditation by wishing everyone to be happy, to be at ease, and cultivate positive relationships throughout their lives. So I'm going to ring my bell again. And whenever you're ready, you just open your eyes and you look around you. So, don't know how much you felt of that, but it made me very aware of my sensations, and those positive feelings came up. So let me know if there's anything else that came up for you and you want to ask or share with others in the messages. Otherwise, I'm just gonna thank you for being here, because this is the last day I'm coming up for these meditations, and I really enjoyed that. And we're gonna have more things coming up, and of course we're gonna let you know, and we want you to be part of this community. And we're gonna see each other very soon. Okay? Thank you, Bernadette. And thank you to everyone.